So many people have been trained by Robert Kiyosaki and the Rich Dad organization. So you learned that, you went off, you started implementing. How did you get that phone call where they're going like, well, Lewis, you're doing better than everyone else. Come and teach them. How does that even happen? Because as an entrepreneur, we're so lonely and no one really sees what we're doing often. So how did they see you? What happened?
It's a really good question. I think you're right. It's particularly with trading and financial markets, it can become a very insular, very lonely thing, which is partly why when I set up Star Trading, I wanted it to be a community of people who were connected. And that's why we go on holidays together. We travel together. We've just been this weekend playing darts together in London. We always are doing stuff together because otherwise it can be quite lonely. And so I'm very much a people person. From my church background, I'm used to being part of a community, and there wasn't really that involved, but I was trying my best to stay connected with people. So I would just talk. So I would talk to my mentors. I'd talk to my coaches at times, say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then when they found out that I was about to quit my job because of my trading, they said, well, would you like to come to an event and do like a 10-minute testimonial about your journey? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Now, they didn't know at the time that from the age of 14, I'd been stood in front of groups of people talking and sharing wisdom or knowledge or whatever it might be. And so they were like, oh, you're really good in front of people. I was like, yeah, even though to this day, I still get so nervous before I ever speak on stage, like so nervous. The second I'm there though, and I've got my first couple of sentences out the way, I completely relax and completely calm down. But that moment before going on, I'm always super nervous. So after that testimonial, they kind of watched me for a little bit, but a little bit more closely to see how my trading was performing. And then it was about a year after that point, year or two after that, then they said, hey, would you like to come back and do some teaching? And they realized I was really good at teaching. Well, no surprise there, because technically in the church I was doing teaching, but also teaching is in my blood. My parents are teachers. My parents' were teachers. It's what my family have done. So again, that was in my blood as well. So it just kind of fell all together because of the nature of who I am, the fact I chose to communicate with my coaches about what I was doing and what was going on. The positives as well as the difficulties, it didn't come naturally to me trading. I had to really work at the skill, but I think that's something that's really encouraging, is the fact that it is a skill set. So anybody can learn a skill set, like anybody can learn to drive, like anyone can, I don't know, learn to register for the correct seminar, not the wrong seminar as well. So yeah, that's how that kind of started to evolve. And they realized I was really good at teaching as well. So they asked me to come and do international teaching. So I didn't just teach in the UK. I taught a lot in South Africa, which is where I fell in love with South Africa, particularly Cape Town and the wine lands and wine. And the steak. Oh my goodness, the steak in South Africa, phenomenal. All over Europe. Literally all over the world. So yeah, it was an incredible opportunity that I think was made available to me because I'm a people person. I want to see other people succeed. And I think that's what made me a good teacher, but also a good speaker as well. Because I want to see people succeed. I want to see them do really well.
What was the training they pulled you through? How did they, what was the difference from speaking as a, in church to speaking for Rich Dad? And how did they help you transition?
Great question. Not much different, to be honest, because you want to be engaging. You want, just doing a flat presentation is not interesting. Reading off a slide is not interesting. So very much when I was in the church, I didn't have slides. We didn't really have, it sounds bad, but we didn't have the tech for it. Like the amount of times I just spoke in a hallway somewhere with a group of people in that hallway, or spoke at a church that didn't have PowerPoint presentations or projectors or anything like that. It just didn't exist. So I was very used to speaking without slides and kind of having to remember what I was going to talk about. So the training that I went through with Rich Dad wasn't massively in detailed or in depth, but they helped me kind of craft a presentation in terms of thinking about what is the core message you want to get across. Again, same with the church, talking about and showing me maybe better ways to bring that across. I think the major difference between speaking for Rich Dad on, say, a seminar versus speaking in the church is there's a sell element. Whereas in the church, for me, it was all about adding value. Yeah. So even now, I still have a problem where if someone who is a sales presenter trainer would look at any of my presentations, they will tell me off for adding too much value, for giving too much away, but I can't help myself. It's in my nature. I don't want to ever speak to a group of people and not feel like I've added value. So learning how to bring in that dynamic of sales, which is for me actually an incredibly positive thing, because if someone hadn't have sold me on the idea of trading, I wouldn't be here today. And so I think it's an incredibly positive thing. Although people hear the word sales and they hear negativity, I'm so thankful that someone sold me into the idea of trading, because it changed my life massively.